There's no line. You still here?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Which way do I go? Do I listen or do I not? Let's listen. For just this option anyway. See what happens. We haven't been to the office in a while.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping him coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office,
do I remember it?
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered a lot. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Okay.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Sweet. It's dark. I like it. Can't see.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Do I though?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I did.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Can I not walk anymore? I can't do anything, can I? Okay.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Corridor. Solitaire. Oh. What's that say? Lights back on. I turned them off. Buttons. Like number 5. Credits. I've got 2 ways I can go. Maintenance room. Words. Oh. Oh. Hey! Hello. Thank you for the raid and welcome, everybody. We are playing Stanley Parable, and by the looks of it, we're going around a museum. An email. Lovely. Welcome. I'm good. How are you guys? How is everyone doing? I don't know when she's gonna start talking again, so I'm just walking around. Oh, there's too many ways to go. I want to look at everything. The game is now paused. Oh, can I? No. Disappointing. Yes, I got this on Epic. Never gonna say no to a free game. Oh. I'm gonna get lost. Office clock. Okay. Boss's office. Huh? Mind control facility. Narration outtakes. Oh, it's dark in here. Interesting. Oh, this was the other entrance. Where am I supposed to go? This isn't genuinely the end of the game, is it? I mean, it's telling us a lot of stuff. Well. Yeah. I also got the World War Z as well. I was actually going to buy that when it was on sale. Glad I didn't. Back here. Oh, what's there here? Oh. I think I broke it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
It broke my game.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons.
Yeah, I'll definitely be picking that up.
Orders came to him.
It did look cool.
His desk, telling him what.
Yep, it's back at the beginning. Well, at least we can get There's probably multiple different ways of playing this game,
All
so
of his co-workers were gone. What
let's
could it mean?
find more.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
Oh. Maybe I did save my game because this is different.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I did save my
Stanley
game.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ooh. This is different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I guess you could say that. It is very repetitive, but obviously there's loads of different paths to take.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm
But
not
it's fun.
asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her?
This is it, Stanley.
Who's her?
Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Who's her?
She's been waiting.
That is a very dark room. Ah!
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What if I don't? What if I don't? But I kind of want to know. Hello?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Eh.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Yes.
They want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to
Rude.
make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you
427.
what's really going on here.
Did you actually bake bread though? Because I like the smell of freshly baked bread.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Wait, what?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes
Who
is
put
a
the chair in
reminder
the
of
doorway?
inconsequential nature of his existence.
What if I don't? I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm gonna have to, aren't I? Do I have? Fine.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now
I
he's
think I
going
had to.
home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I don't want to push buttons. I got no feet. Can I have your feet? I don't want to push potassium. ain't got no legs. No feet. Come on. There's got to be an achievement for not pressing the button. Ooh, what if I push a different one? No, doesn't work. Do I really have to push the button?
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press 8 to watch TV. Okay.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped
this
up
is my
from his
desk.
desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The
Half five.
thought excited him terribly.
Press Z to spend time with the
So
boys.
he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
V to prepare.
As he wandered
Oh,
through this fantasy
dinner.
world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Press H to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again and then again.
Social
and again,
distance from the
over
boys.
and over,
Yes,
wishing beyond
indeed.
hope that it would never end.
6
that
feet
he might
apart.
always feel this free. Surely there's an
Yes.
answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press N to tell your wife you love her.
But there is
Hello.
no answer. How could there possibly
She
be?
disappeared.
In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he
It's a
spends here,
big
the
desk.
more invested he gets.
Can I
The
have
more
that
he
desk?
forgets which life is the real one.
Press K to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Now I want to do it. Press N to be at work in the morning. You told me not to. Do it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
See what I see. Press J to question
I
nothing.
suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please
And Stanley
die.
pushed a button.
That's
And I tried
rude.
again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I